Hello, my peeps. I have no idea what is wrong with my computer. Just checking on another device to see. Okay, it seems like it's going. It's not going well on my end, but it appears to be going on your end. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to Tuesdays with Tracey. I would be Tracey, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and friendly neighborhood paper pusher. Oh, there's been so much going on in the last couple of days. My computer was giving me so much grief yesterday that I spent a good portion of today getting rid of big files and moving things and trying to, and it was even worse today. So I have no idea what to do. Um, but I'm here now and fingers crossed and hoping for the best. And then as soon as I finally got it like getting ready and I'm just about to hit the live button, the kids must have got out early from school because I didn't think they got out till 3:30, but all of a sudden a whole bunch of kids started walking down the street and the dog started barking his head off. So, defending the house from the small children walking past. Uh, so yeah, a little bit of a rougher start than normal, but there we go. Okay. The I meant to send a note this morning saying, hey, don't forget. But I was so busy trying to get everything ready for the live that I totally forgot the note. So if you're here, say hi in the comments. The comments are not coming up yet because hey, why would they? So I'm just gonna trottle along here and hope for the best. I have a lot to show and tell. Well, I guess maybe not a lot to show and tell, but I got a bunch to show and tell. I have some information. What did I do with my sheet of paper? And then I'm going to show you some cards and some what to do about two-tone cardstock and show you a couple projects. There we go. I got my chat now. So yesterday, if you're a demonstrator, there's definitely perks of being a demonstrator. One of them is you don't have to wait for things, which is perfect because I could have never been a doctor because I ain't got no patience. Get to see the PDF of the annual catalog. And it's not the same as flipping through a paper one, but there are advantages to the PDF because I like to, I have a catalog process. I look through it really quickly and just see what jumps out at me. And then I go through it a second time and I look at it more, logically, like, am I going to use that? Could I see that? Oh, do I already have one that's like it? Okay, would that replace what, and I look through it a second time and I make my list. And then as the demonstrator, I like to figure out all the answers. So I go through it and I find out and this sheet. So I made this little sheet. This little sheet took me 6 hours, but it was fun 6 hours. So I went through again and I compared everything in the new catalog to the old catalog because they had said apart, like not just the paper, but some of the other stuff was going up in price. Not major, they said, but they didn't tell us anything. So I was like, well, let's go see. Because when they told me the paper was going up, I told you guys the paper was going up. I stocked up because even at a discount, even with a business, whatever, I don't want to pay any more than I have to. It's like free shipping. Whoa, what can I buy on free shipping day? It's free shipping. I know that's crafter math, but the changes are not actually that. The most of the paper or most of the changes and the increases come with paper. The two cut and emboss machines are going up. One by the big one by $14, the little one by $4. Wink Estella is going up by $1.50, and then there's 3 of the punches, like the different kinds of punches. So your punch is either going up by $2 or $3, depending what kind of punch it is. If you were waiting to buy some of these things, maybe buy them now if you want to save a couple bucks. But if you try to group your orders or see what's new or whatever, then it's only a couple dollars. So I guess you wait. And then there's some things that aren't in the new catalog that were in the old catalog. So at this point, because they have a new system now with the online exclusives, and there's new online exclusives that come out at the same day. Oh my God, you guys are phenomenal. There's lots of cool stuff in the new catalog too, don't get me wrong. And the new colors, I think I have a picture. My stuff's in no particular order, so that'll be just how this goes. On Stage was this weekend, which is a demonstrator event. It was in Raleigh, North Carolina, Strasbourg, France, which is where I really wanted to go because one of my favorites, book series, the group of, I don't even know what they're a group of. They're an awesome group of characters, live in Strasbourg, France. And I'm like, oh, I want to go see. Plus anything old European historical works for me. And I want to say Melbourne, Australia. so as it was going all weekend long, I was like looking things up and, snatching pictures of things and what are people seeing, because I really wanted to see the new in colors. So I'm gonna try, because we figured out the zoom, right? Whoa, whoa. The only thing I haven't figured out with the zoom is, oh, I hit my, just a minute. I hit my button. I hit the wrong button. I went in the wrong place. Is where to hold my paper. And you know what? I'm in the habit of doing this. I think I'm just going to do this. There we go. Oops. Which way am I going? Am I going this way? No, I'm going this way. See, I have a time delay on what I'm looking at, and it's screwing me up. Okay, here's the new colors. Darling Duckling, Strawberry Slush, which is a returning color. We had Strawberry Slush, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, let's say. Timid Tiger, Cloud Cover, which is a really pretty sky blue color, and Secret Sea, which I'm looking forward to. I love navy blue, and this thing is like half navy, half black. It looks awesome. Now, there is an issue with Cloud Cover. So the ink pads are not drying and curing like they're supposed to. They change color and they go from pretty blue to not so pretty gray. There are some nice grays. This one doesn't have to, and it's also not what it's meant to be. It's meant to be blue. So Stampin' Up! Has pulled the ink pads and the refills and the little Stampin' spots that are in one of the collections. But the paper, the ribbon, the gems, everything else will come out. And the other 4 ink pads are good, so they will all come out. This happened once before. Perfect Posy, Purple Posy, Purple Posy. And it never did come out. They never could get it to meet the quality standards, so it never did come out. So let's hope they have better luck with Cloud Cover. But it is what it is. So anyways, these are the new colors I was looking at. It's just the new catalog time is just so much fun. I'm thinking of doing a paper and ribbon share. There's lots of stuff they carried over, which is nice because I have lots of paper I still haven't had a chance to use, and I get to keep using it. So I love that. I'm going to focus now on like what we can get right now, because it's May 6th. It's like 6 weeks before you can eat, 7 weeks, I think, before you can even worry about the new catalog. The only thing I'm going to tell you is as things come up and as I find out about things, if it's your last chance to get something, I'll tell you, like one of the embossing folders. And I don't know everything. On April 1st, I like to think I know everything. I don't know everything. On April 1st, we get the next refresh, I guess, if you want to put it, the next update to, I don't want to use the word refresh, so I'll confuse with the old system. The next update to the last chance list, right? So anything that's going to retire goes on the last chance list. There's some stuff that was in the actual catalog that I think will just become an online exclusive. I think it will go to the online store because they didn't put it in the catalog, but they're going to keep it. So there's really is 2 places you can go look for stuff. They can only put so much in the catalog. And the online store gives so much more flexibility. Like maybe some of this stuff was meant to retire, but it's still popular, or they still have lots. So they put it there and buys you more time, right? So some of that stuff we won't know till April 1st. On April 1st, I will make sure to let you know. I can tell you right now that in colors, people get excited about in colors because we know these 4 are coming in. Oh, I should have printed the graphic off. The other 4 are going out, or other 5, sorry, are going out. So those ones are already starting to go in low inventory, and they're going to sell out, and they'll probably sell out before April 1st. On April 1st, though, when they announce things and they say if anything's going to be on sale or not, holy do things go fast. So if there's something you absolutely want, don't wait too long, because it's not worth it. So yeah, I will tell you those things as they come up. I told you about the paper when it came out. Like as soon as I know something that's will help you not be disappointed, or at least that's what I'm trying, I'll let you know. Okay, let's get on with things so we can have time for our cardstock. Okay, so Mission Monday was Easter. I think I did this once before. And I don't know if it was specifically Easter, but I waited till really close to the day of and then said, hey, show me your Easter projects. But by then, you've either made it or you haven't, because now it's like 3 days before the holiday. So this time I thought, no, we're going to go ahead of time and say, hey, let's look at this. So I'm about to start making all my Easter treats and these things to put in my little shop in town here. I have a bunch of them sort of half started, but this is the perfect time to show people what you're making and do. And then if, somebody's looking for ideas, then they can get it. So I would love to see what you guys are making, and I'll post mine on Friday. And then with any luck, you guys can make a project and post along. Let me see. These are, like I said, these are in no particular order, so we'll just do them as they come. So yesterday, if you noticed on my channel, there was a new video. you should, hopefully you have like subscribe and the little bell that's there that notifies you every time a new video goes up. Because this week I've decided I have so much to show you. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh no. Yes, I know you hate it when you get all and then nothing happens. There's so much to show you this week, and I have 3 new kits because the 2 kits that I ordered that are part of the kit collection, the ones for March, I got on, I think, Friday. And then lo and behold, Saturday, I get my paper pumpkin for the 2nd month in a row. It comes on a Saturday. Because when it's not here by Friday, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to wait. Well, it was so good, I couldn't wait. So I made the stuff from it yesterday and did a video. And I'm going to do the other 2 kits. I'm going to do a video for each one of them, and I'm going to post one tomorrow, one on Thursday. Just so it's not like some 4-hour long thing you got to watch. You can pick and choose and watch them in shorter bursts. I know I'm a lot. Maybe shorter bursts is easier. But anyways, these are the cards. Thinking of one from background a sec. Look at these envelopes. I mean, come on, the envelopes alone are worth it, but look at these cards. So these are the paper pumpkin ones. This is what was in the video yesterday. Look at that envelope. This one, I dropped the card. There we go. And this one has like little people. Let's see. There we go. Another awesome envelope. And another awesome card. So the base of this card has this image on it. And then each one of these daisies is popped up. There's like a second one popped up. Oh my God, they're awesome. And because this is the anniversary month, there's always a little extra gift. So this is the stamp set that goes with the kit. And then this is the bonus one. And they coordinate beautifully, and you can make so many things. But while I was doing this, and of course I like to try everything live. I mean, I opened the kit and kind of looked a little bit, but I didn't actually try to make anything or look at the instructions because I rarely do that. So it wasn't until I started going and I'm like, oh, I wonder how the bee works. So these 3 pieces here make up a bee. So what I did during the live, you can see all the details there. I had to redo this because I didn't leave myself room to write on it, but is I stamped a bunch of different options so you can see how the bee goes together and what it looks like in different options. So you can watch the video for that too. Now, here's what I'm doing to try to like streamline things. I make the video, I take the pictures, I post them on Pinterest, then I link the video in Pinterest, and then I go back to YouTube and I link the Pinterest board in the comments of the video. So whether you start with the video or you start with the Pinterest board, there's a link that will take you to the other one. Because sometimes I have, like the one video I did, I think I had, I don't know, 20 some cards by the time I was done. That's too many to put on a post, but it's much better to put on Pinterest that way. Okay, so that was the other kit. So we already know April kits is going to be awesome with this cool alcohol wash looking thing. I cannot wait for it. Look at this. May, June. June's a little sneak peek of a new thing. There's so many good things here. Plus there is, I've already ordered them, but I don't have them in my hand yet. These next add-on dies. So you want to get hooked up with Paper Pumpkin. If you need any help, you need links, let me know. I meant to post these on the weekend. I've just been kind of busy. I got lots going on right now. And I never got to them posting them, but I will post them again during the week. This is coming up, not this Saturday, but next Saturday is our next kit together. I currently have no one registered. So you have till Monday to register. If nobody registers, we just cancel it and move the stuff to April. I will have the Paper Pumpkin I just showed you, plus the 2 new kits, plus some of the ones from last month. Plus I've been cleaning out some supplies. So I have some, like, I'm going to call them vintage because it makes it sound more fun. But I got some classics in there that are awesome. So if you are interested in coming to the kit together on Saturday, please register. Spring Fling in April. So this started out as being just a card class, and then I realized with the timing of the annual catalog, I wanted to like do something with it because it's exciting and you get to see all the stuff. So we're going to kind of have the option to do card making or do the open house or do both. And the cards are designed in such a way that you can do both. I don't know what I did with. Just 1 second here. Hasn't watched me walk away because I did not have my stuff ready. What did I do with it? Okay, I have no idea what I did with it. Okay, well, I'm back now. That's how it is. We're using the Greetings for All ephemera pack. And I prepped a bunch of stuff. So like in the case of this card, like all the layers will be cut. I've cut and stamped a whole bunch of these already, so it's quicker. All you have to do is color them the color you want. And then you don't even have to put sentiments on them right away because you have this whole pack. You have 3 sheets of sentiments. You have like 50 different sentiments to choose from. if I can find it to show you. I've used it on all sorts of things. They're handy as can be. Oh my God, I have like a whole pack of them, like a whole stack of them. I mean, oh well. So yeah, a lot of this is done. I pre-cut all these little ladybugs, these adorable little ladybugs. So we're making these 4 cards at the thing. So I have prepped a bunch. You have to pick and assemble and get your things, and then you'll have time to also make a couple make and takes with the new in colors and some of the new stuff, and look at the stuff I order. Plus, I can usually borrow some stuff from my friend if I don't have it. And so then we have lots to show you. The class, the best deal on these classes is to order the bundle. The bundle itself costs $92. So if you pay $92 for the class, I throw in basically all the cardstock and everything you need to make it for free, and you get the bundle. If not, it's $40, gets you all the cards, like all the stuff you need. You just use my stuff to make these cards. You get the whole thing of or like a sheet each of these ephemera things. So there's like 3 sheets of greetings. Those you take home. I gotta remember, sorry, I gotta write a note. The April 11th one, I'm going to make sure that I give you guys all a clear envelope, because once you start taking them out, the easiest way to store them is in one of our clear envelopes, and then you just put it in there, and then it's way easier. But trust me when I say, if you're considering buying this bundle, you can make so many pretty cards with this bundle. And I even have more. I made a bunch of them in another series. I got another 5 of them somewhere, but they're too far to reach. I love this bundle. It's so pretty, and you have so much fun, and you can color it in so many different ways. So that is April 11th. And again, please register. The deadline for registration, Wednesday? Thursday, whatever the 20th is this week. Let's just say it's this week. So yeah, I put, I think 20th is maybe Thursday. It's Thursday. I put Thursday because I'm going away for the weekend on Friday. And I was hoping to just enjoy and decompress. But as long as you let me know by Sunday when I get back, then I'm going to start prepping. And I am making an epic table treat this time. Like I usually make the little treats for everybody. I had an idea. Oh, it's a big one this time. It's not a big one of candy. It's just a big treat. This is just a heads up. June 14th is our retired product sale. And the 4th of October is our Christmas extravaganza. These are all open. I've posted the links a couple times for all of these things. These are all open. So if you want a reminder or register, there you go. What else do I have around my desk? Nothing. Okay. So let's talk about two-tone cardstock. I'm showing you these, and I realize it's on video, and the computer doesn't always, because when they first came out with this two-tone cardstock, people were very excited. People that had come from previously from the scrapbooking company, this is similar to what they had. And so they were all very excited. And Stampin' Up! People were like, oh, what's this new thing? And there's a lot of discussion on how that we now had a second white paper, because this is our original basic white cardstock. And this one is called Willow White. And it's in the two-tone cardstock. Now, obviously, white. It's white core cardstock. So yeah, it's white on both sides. So this is the only one that's not really two-tone, but it came with it. But there was lots of discussions about how different it was, and it's so nice to have 2 different colors. And I'm sorry, they look the same to me. So, oh, I made it go all fuzzy. There we go. Okay, I screwed up my camera. The zoom screwed it up. Oh, look at how in focus my hand is though. Okay, it'll come back. I'll just chat until it realizes what it's doing. Just give it a second. Anyways, they look kind of the same to me. Now, the other colors of cardstock, however, are very different. They're definitely noticeable different in that cardstock. So what it is we have the cardstock that is like colored all the way through, deep dyed cardstock, right? Same color on both sides, same color in the middle, everything. And then this is the two-tone stuff. Now, when the two-tone first came out, it came out in these little mixed packages. And after a little bit, it came out to match the scrapbook kits that first came out. So Stampin' Up! Didn't really have scrapbook kits last spring. They quickly pivoted to develop some scrapbook kits because the market was now there. And there we go. So they made some kits, and they made just enough of each color that went with the kits. So these are little assorted packs that matched. I don't even know which ones. I'll tell you why in a minute why I have them. But so they did this. Now, a couple of the ones, you could get a couple of colors. By the time I think the second scrapbook release came out, you could get an entire package of one color. And I was just kind of waiting and thinking, okay, let's see. I got a couple of the scrapbook packages to check out, and they are awesome. The scrapbook kits, oh my God, they're fantastic. Especially for somebody like me who's never really scrapbooked. Scrapbooked. I don't know. Done scrapbooking because I really wasn't sure where to start. Well, so this is like, follow along. They're awesome kits. So the plan when the new catalog comes out in May is that all 50, is it 50 colors or is it actually more? They will have all of the color families plus the in colors. I saw at least the newest in colors. I did look to see in this two-tone cardstock. So that's part of the changes to all the cardstock and why they were going to get rid of one, but then they brought it back because a lot of people said, no, we need a thick 8.5 by 11. So there's all this fuss going on and people just kept talking about this two-tone cardstock. So I thought, I better do a little bit of playing and see what happens. So I did do some playing and I thought, I'm going to share it with you guys. So if you're in the same boat as me of what is the fuss, now you can find out. I bought these 3 packs of mixed cardstock because they all went on the last chance list. Now this cardstock is a good price. There's 12 sheets to a pack of the regular color and it's $13.75. And then the mixed packs they still have 12 sheets. They're $16.50, I think. And it depends on what goes with the kit. Like one of the mixed packs was 3 sheets each of 4 colors. One was 2 sheets each of 6 colors. Like it just depends. But this gave me a variety of them. But these are all on sale for like $9 or something. So I thought, hey, I like a deal. So I got a bunch of these, just different ones. So when the new ones come out, yes, you'll be able to buy. Well, and right now there's still, I think there's like 6 or 8 colors where you can buy an entire pack of one color. But it's out there anyways. So apart from the white, which again, like, I mean, I can see one looks like slightly different than the other, but this one's slightly brighter maybe. But when it's always the joke, you always watch people on TV and they're like, which shade of white do you want? And they have 70 colors and they're all white, right? Yeah, that's how I feel about white. They all look the same to me. Okay. But here is the gist. I got to pick a different piece than that. I guess I should get a bigger piece so I can actually show you what I'm talking about. So here, for example, is some cardstock. And here's the gist of two-tone. This is garden green. This is a slightly lighter tone of garden green. Two-tone. Now, instead of dyeing this cardstock all the way through, they print this colored garden green on one side and they print a different tone of garden green on the back side, and then they cut it into pieces. So, and I did watch a video. I watched all of the videos, all the behind the scenes stuff. I know so much stuff about shipping lines and all sorts of things. I find it all very interesting. So they have these huge reams of paper and they cut big, they looked poster size. They're probably, let's go with a 3x4 foot piece of white paper. And they print a whole bunch of 12x12s on one side and a whole bunch of 12x12s on the other side. And then they actually cut them into pieces. So the middle is white and either side is just the different tones. So why is that important, you say? Because you could do cool things with it. And I never actually finished my here you can do cool things with it. I did start playing though, just a minute. So this was the first one I started playing with. Because I lost my, there we go. So this is Pool Party. And one of the techniques you can do with this is you can, so this is the lighter tone up, and then you can fold it, there's either way, you can fold it up and you get the darker tone. Now, I can see a difference here, and in person I can see it even more. It's not like, oh my God, look at the difference. Some of them are more noticeable than others, and I think it just has to do with the tone. And so this one is also folded slightly different. I was just randomly folding things. So this one is a more obvious tone change, right, on the gorgeous grape. But they're very cool. And so one of the things that I saw, and some of these we'll just finish as we go along. we'll come up with something as we go. So this, I just cut this as a 4 by 5¼ sheet. So like a standard layer. And then I just put it in my paper trimmer randomly and scored it just because I wanted it to fold a little easier for me. And I scored it. And I'm doing what I probably wouldn't advise you to do, especially if you're really particular or maybe just a beginner stamper. I'm going to put a little tab on here because it's just going to annoy me that it keeps popping up. There we go. I'm going to stamp after I put the thing down. Because, yeah, I live on the edge. I can't remember what I was saying. I totally lost my train of thought with that. As soon as I did it, I was like, oh, that's probably not the best way to do it. But anyways, yeah, so I did see when we did, I'm trying to think when it was. It was one of our Silver Sister things, one of our team events. Sorry, I hate to turn my back on you, but I need to stamp. This is like a genius stamp set. Let's just see if this fits. Because again, did I plan anything? No. Oh, that does fit. Look at that. So I did see like a bit of a I have to put some kind of an image on this. I did get a bit of a demonstration of this. One of the leaders had showed us how to do it. And now at the time, I always make projects, right? But I like to try to make them at the same time. I didn't have any of the two-tone cardstock, so I just made one with DSP. And so, because the idea was to, fold it over and see a different color. So that's what the other one had DSP in the behind it and this. And so my card doesn't look anything like this is supposed to. And I can't actually remember which one it was. But I've seen one since, and I didn't actually save a picture of it. I'll be able to tell you who, and I can't even remember exactly how she did this, but like I said, I like to live on the edge, so. But she folded it over on white instead of on a colored card base so that she could stamp in the opening, which I thought was genius. Okay, I'm gonna end up with a whole collection of things here, I think, by the time I'm done. Yeah, seriously, I have zero plan right now. I'm just like, do. But I feel like I need some leaves. Oh, I have this one from the one that backfired. Just a minute, I get a piece of paper. Oh, we got a half an hour. Oh, we're laughing. Yeah, we're just gonna make it up as we go. She says. Yeah, I probably should have stamped this before I put the paper down. I had an idea in my head. I just didn't, it wasn't really a fully formed idea. And so, but if you'd like an insight into how I craft, well, here you go. Recklessly and with abandon, because it's crafting and it's what you're supposed to do. Now the problem is because this is folded over, oh, damn. That's what was going to happen that I didn't want to happen. Now on the upside, pull this over where I can see it. On the upside, I cleared off most of the ink on the other one, so let's see if I can. Nope. All right, well, you get the idea. I'll have to fix that on another example because that totally did not work. I was trying to put leaves there. Well, let's just see if we can do it this way though and cover. Nope. My thought was I could do something like this. So I will fix it the way I intended. I'll make a new one because that didn't work the way it was supposed to. That's what I get for not really planning ahead. So my plan was to color this and then put, oops, I need a bigger piece of right here. I have pulled up some of these other ones. The good part of this is, one, cardstock never goes to waste. You want to be careful. See, this is fate. Because the one thing I did find, and you'll see it when I show you some of these other techniques, part of the purpose of this is you can rough it up to get it to show you different techniques. So you have to be careful when you're manhandling it like I just did, because you don't want to wrinkle it too much and then you get the technique you weren't planning on. just kidding. I don't know why. I do that all the time. I know I need to re-glue it because it's not going to sit properly. So I re-glue it before before I've even got the card ready. Here, let's just do that again. So yeah, there's a lot of, I personally, I think, like I picked this and I just picked random colors out of there. I had no plan starting because that's how I like to do things. What did I do with the other stamp set? There it is. And then you just start playing because you never know what you might find out, right? Like, let's pretend like I did that on purpose so I could show you, hey, this cardstock you can pull up. I find that this cardstock rolls when you screw up and you're trying to fix it. It kind of rolls a little bit, but it doesn't, it's not as, it doesn't like bend. It doesn't crease. That's what I'm looking for. It doesn't crease as badly as the dyed through cardstock. So there's an advantage that way if you do have to fix it. And I don't know, it has a slightly shinier texture to it. So I don't know if that's why it's easier to pull up. I'm gonna do this a couple ways now since I have the option. I'm gonna fill it in more. So I'm doing this, which is what I should have done the first time. And you'll notice it doesn't matter that what it really looks like because I'm about to go right across the other one. There we go. This part doesn't matter because I'm about to cover it all up anyways. Look at me. Look at me go. I have a stack of envelopes. I've taken to putting a huge stack of envelopes on my desk right in front of me so that when I have my stamps and my ink out, I can stamp. And then because I have them in front of me to do the envelope, it also makes me remember to do the inside. And I do it before I put everything away and clean all the stamps and then have to take everything back out again because I forgot. So pile of envelopes on your desk. There's my tip for the day. Because I like to stamp on the outside. Sleeves there. I like to do it the whole shebang. Inside envelopes, outside. Excuse me while I get a beverage. We're back to it's getting warmer out now. And my office is the hottest room in the house. Okay, so I got lots of room. I'm doing this to make sure that when this is in place that I'm not going to cover up my sentiment. But because it's uneven, I need to start at the bottom because otherwise I won't be able to place it. Because I start with my bottom two corners and I line them up. And the reasoning is if I start at the bottom and I have an even border on 3 sides, when I lay this down, I'll have an even border on 4 sides. So there we go. I ended up with my little leaves, which is what I wanted. I wanted little leaves peeking out of my little just a note. I've lost my flower. What did I do with my flower? It's upside down. I have too many things on my desk right now. Now, because I did this twice, and because I pulled it up and made it slightly curl, it's making the front of my card curl. Just give it a little flat. There we go. And then, yeah, you just need something. I guess the other thing I could have done, you could put whatever color you want. I was going to say if I had the green one, I'm just grabbing things off my desk. You will notice a lot of what I put out lately. Once you start seeing bits and pieces, you'll start seeing a lot of bits and pieces because I just grab what's on my desk. I don't want to make the flowers purple, like gorgeous grape. Ooh, you know what I could do though? What color was that? Garden green. So I do keep, I don't even know where these little, this is probably from like a set of boxes or something, like treat boxes. It's the cardboard backing. I keep all the cardboard backings because it's amazing how many times I use them for things. Now, I love blends. You know, I love me my blends. The only problem I have with blends is that I think there's 3. Funny enough, one of them is gorgeous grape. I think there's 3 or 4 of the like color family colors that there's no blends for. Gorgeous grape is one of them. Garden green is one of them. I think crushed curry. So I really, and I should check. Maybe they've decided to make blends in all the colors. Oops, I forgot yellow. So I use Daffodil Delight for everything, but I like the idea of having the crushed curry to use. Okay, so I'm not gonna make you watch me color this whole flower, but I will tell you I've gotten pretty quick at coloring because I love to color and I color a lot. But yeah, blends. Oh, I love blends. And Stampin' Up, little artists that Stampin' Up, they know what they're doing. So if you follow what they've put, like here, there's all those little dots on the center of this flower. So I put my dark there and then I color over the whole thing with the light. And it makes me look like a shading genius when I'm really just copying what they did. Sometimes there's actual shading on it, and when you can color over with just one color and it looks like that. And then you can always go back and touch things up. But yeah, just follow what they give you. It's amazing what it'll do. Oh, I need one more color. Okay. I was trying to color. I have to check though. Where's my piece of white? Let's pick the smallest piece possible because I don't have garden green. I'm trying to decide which one is going to come closest. This one's darker. I'm just going to go with the lighter one. It's not exactly, but it's also not touching. But there's all the different tones of green, and I want to make sure I get the right one. So one of the things I'll also do, because I don't want to use a dark one because it's too dark. And I'm not an expert in color. I make it work for me. With alcohol markers, the idea is you put down one color and then you put down the next color before the first one dries, and then that's what makes them blend. Those lines are really distracting, aren't they? You have to have something underneath when you're coloring with the alcohol markers, though, because they do bleed through the paper. Right, you can see it come through. So generally you would go and then go over. Well, I'm just using the light because I think the dark in this case is too dark for what I want. So where I would normally put a dark, I went and drew the line first so that it will dry a little bit while I colored the stem. Now I'm going to, oops, I missed a piece of stem. Did I miss a piece of stem anywhere else? Yep. Now I'm going to go back over the ones I did before. And because it's a little bit drier, it shouldn't blend as much because I still want the middle of the thing to have like that dark shading to it. And then once it's all dry, I can go back and just color over again the places that I want darker, even with the same marker. You just keep going over the same spot over and over and it'll just get darker. I'm going to color. I wanted just enough, but then seriously, I love coloring so much. Once I start, it's very therapeutic and I can't stop. Okay. So I got some green. The part I realize now is I need another color there. And for this one, because there's no actual shading, but I know that where I want the petals along. Did I do that backwards? The petals along, or like by the center, by the flowers, are it's usually darker in the center, and then it gets lighter as you go out. So I'm making my own shading, and then I just color over. So this is fresh freesia, which I think will go nicely with the gorgeous grape. I didn't want a gorgeous grape. One, we don't have the blends, but it's also a very dark color. I didn't want the exact color flower as the background, but it's also a little bit darker flower than I was going for. So I will, before I take the pictures, I will finish coloring that. But I just wanted to give you the idea that we can put a little something on the front there. So you get like a little bit of tones and you get a little thing sneaking through. And then I'm going to put, once I decide what I'm doing, I'm going to put a little, not sure what original piece I had, but I don't actually even need that because I have just a note up here. So I don't even have to do that. It's me. I'm going to put a ribbon or a twine or something. So I'll show you that one. But anyways, that's just the folded over part, right? So you can expose. And like I said, this one works as well. And it is more obvious in person. It's just not as obvious here. So one of the thing is showing both sides, right? So I had seen this a whole bunch of times. So of course my brain goes off on a jaunt all on its own. And I think, well, wait a minute, we want to show both sides. Sorry, I just dumped a whole bunch of stuff on top. So you know how else you can show two sides of the paper? By making stripes. So that's not really stuck down very well on that one piece. We'll just do that. So if you saw my thing this weekend, this was one of my cast off pieces. I absolutely love this flower. This is from Remarkable You, I think it's called. So it was sitting on my desk, which was what made me grab the green to begin with. But all I did was cut a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock. So there's another like a piece of white. And then I cut a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of the green, and I cut it in 1/2 inch strips. Now you're never going to get the edges exactly right. If you want to just put it straight down, you can. I did have, where'd my throwaway one go? I did do that with wider strips. This was my first attempt. I did it with wider strips and I just stuck it straight to the card. And because I couldn't exactly line up the tops, I was kind of pulling it up. And so the more I pulled it up, the more the edges would not lay flat. But then I also decided that these stripes were too big. And so like I was trying different stripes. So I stamped on top of them, but then I didn't like it. So then I scrapped it. But anyways, when I did it the second time, I found it was much easier to just take a piece of cardstock, cut these strips, stick them all down, trying as close as possible to get everything exactly perfect. And then I just trimmed off 1/8 of an inch on all sides. You can't just trim off 1/4 inch on 2 sides. Well, I guess you could on the top. But on these sides, I took 1/8 off each, which made these strips narrower, which I think actually looks better than every one of them being exactly the same. And then I just popped some stuff over top of it. But it's just the green and green, and these are just the 2 tones of it. Love how that turned out. Okay, so that's one of the things. So my stack of paper in random order. So because you can see the white core through it, my brain went, can you see like a white edge when you die cut? Nope, no, you can't. I think because when you die cut, like the die kind of pushes and sort of rounds the edge of the cardstock on the upside, right? But I don't see any white edges on this. Now, you could use one of the next technique and get white edges if you wanted, but in case you were wondering, no, the die cutting does not make white edges. So, get my little pieces out of the way. One of the other things that you can do, I have 4 different things to show you. 4 different things I found out you could play with. Is so you want the white to come through, right? I have 3 different ways that you can get the white core to come through. So the first part was just the tone on tone part. This is now the white core part. So this is the new, I can't help myself but do this. This is the new corrugated embossing folder. And this is my favorite, the wood. You can't see it super well on here, but you're going to see it better in a minute. And I tried this one because this one is a fairly flat emboss. It's great. It's nicely embossed. And this one is a deeper emboss, right? So I just wanted to see the difference. So when you first just flat out emboss them, and yes, I emboss these at the same time. So if you ever want to do that technique, I put one folder this way, one folder this way, and ran it through at the same time. So I didn't have to worry about squishing. So I have 2 different like embossings. But if you look really close, there's a couple places where you can see the paper just about cracked from the embossing folder. Not super obvious. So there's some that are like really deep embossing. You probably could just get them. When I went to do this, I couldn't remember which ones, but I remember using it just on regular cardstock and thinking, ooh, I'm going to have to spritz that paper first, because that's the secret for not cracking your cardstock with the really deep embossing. But then I wanted to purposely emboss. So on this side, I just started sanding. So I had 2 different things. Now, Stampin' Up! Does not currently have a sander. They had this one in the past, though. And I did shockingly found it today. I got it at a garage sale. When I first started, I went to a garage sale. And at one point I bought, I know people are shocked when I tell them this, but I paid $5 and I got a box of stuff. The woman's like, here, $5. I don't even know what half the stuff in here is. And I'm like, perfect. Now I had just started. So when I got the box, I didn't know what half the stuff in there was either. There was a heat gun. Those are worth $44. There was a crimper, which I don't know what they're worth because by the time I started, they had stopped selling them. So I have a crimper. There was a crocodile, which I didn't know what that was, but they're genius. And I can only imagine those were 40 or $50. They are big, heavy duty, hole punch, rivet. Oh my God, they're amazing. So those 3 tools alone were in there. And then there was just a whole bunch of little bits and pieces of stuff. Well, this was one of them. And I always just saved it thinking, oh, at some point I'll need this. So I don't even know if you know what to do, because I don't actually know if these sanding pads, actually go with these blocks or if they just happen to be in the same container. But anyways, these are the old ones. If you happen to recognize them, if you had an old Stampin' Up one, I'm wondering what they were for. This is just a little one that I got, I think 2 Christmases ago. Somebody on our demo team bought a bunch of these off Amazon. And if you come to one of our extravaganzas, we have a couple of these in the little like table trays, because they're really good if you use your trimmer or your something and you have a bit of a rough edge and you want to like just kind of go like this on the edge to smooth it off. So that's all I've ever used it for. But you can tell today it's got purple on it. So all I did is I just kept the thing flat and I went like this. And because of how I was trained by my dad to sand on wood, I go in circles. Do you need to go in circles? Probably not. But that's how I was trained. I guess you could go straight, but the more you sand, the more the white is going to come through, right? So and it's going to give you a different result depending on the embossing folder. But it's that easy. That's all I did, right? So if I wanted to, actually, this one is, if I'm not mistaken, it's the same as a nail file, right? I have glass nail files that I got years ago in Arizona, and they said if they start to get like a little bit dull because they're starting to get cruddy, just rinse them underwater. So I'm actually going to try. I'm going to rinse this underwater and see what happens, because I found these ones. So these are much bigger ones, and I think it's the same grit on all sides. I don't really know, but so if I can go like this, and like I said, the more I go, and because this one is really deep, if I want to actually get like more than just like, because this is giving me stripes now, right? I'm going to have to like angle this thing to try to get it to some more stuff. This one's a little different because it's white. It's flat, so it's really easy to expose, right? Like it didn't take me very long to get a lot of white on these. Personal choice. Do you want to have just a little bit? Do you want to do like the whole thing, or do you want to just have like a little wear pattern in a couple places, right? Choices are yours. Look at all the fun things you can do though. Okay, let me put this off to the side here. I'm trying to just keep track of what I'm doing here without totally burying everything. So when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, wood grain. So I took the early espresso and I lightly sanded the entire piece. Rascal. Okay, so I had a mute button. I remember we figured out how to do the mute button on the video. Oh, no. Now my little volume thing is missing. Oh, I hope I've unmuted. That's all I can say. I hope I've managed to unmute. Okie dokie. So here's our early espresso with the same wood grain. I will tell you, because I looked as soon as I did, I'm like, this is my absolute favorite embossing folder, is this wood grain one. We had a different one like years ago, and then this one replaced it. I love this one. It's not in the new catalog. So there's a chance it'll go to online exclusives, but because it's been around for a while, I think there's a better chance that it's going to retire. So if you were waiting for a wood grain embossing folder, get it before it's gone. I love this card. I am not a pinks and frills, and this is 100% my style. But look at how it just sort of aged the wood. I should have left one that wasn't embossed just to show you. But anyways, so yeah, I embossed it in the espresso, and then I just give it a good sand. I can see that I am about to get a delivery, which means the dog is about to lose his mind again. So stand by one. I'm going to mute, and I'm going to hope the mute is working. Are you good, Rascal? Are we safe? Go back to bed. Rascal, bed. Yes, bed. Okay, I am back. Now, I wrote that down there just so I could, in case anybody was watching and went, what the heck happened? When I was trying to fix my computer yesterday, I somehow changed the way the scenes on my OBS, my streaming program worked. And I currently cannot see the part where it shows me, because the one time, I don't know how my thing got muted the one time. And I did an entire like 45-minute video with the microphone muted and I had no idea. So while I muted that, because hopefully you didn't hear all that barking, he loses his mind when somebody comes to the door to drop something off. So while he was doing that, I was trying to get it to open up on my phone so I could hear to see if I was muted or not. Okay. Well, the good news is I just wanted to make sure I was now unmuted so I didn't make that same mistake. But I couldn't make it open up on my phone, so I had to do it on my iPad. Okay, we're all back, all good. Okay, let's see. So that was the sanding. Pardon the disruption. There's the card. I got all my views are all mixed up. Now, just got to go back and get them in the right order so I can see things all at the same time. Okay, so one of the other things that you can do with this cardstock is you can crumple it up to get the different pieces to come through. What did I do with that piece I had? Something's wrong with my camera. There we go. Sorry, I'm back. Are you back? There's my hand. Okay. All of a sudden my overhead camera just sort of stopped. It just froze. There we go. I need to just need to get a slightly bigger piece. So the other thing that we can do is we can crumple the paper. So the first one I just sort of crumpled a little bit. And yeah, I can see like a tiny little bit. This one I like manhandled. So in theory, that's too big of a piece. In theory, you can crumple your paper up. Now, if you want to make like soft paper for things, sometimes you spritz it first. Well, in this case, I would think you don't want to spritz it because you want it to break the fibers. You want it to crack so that you expose the white. So this paper is sharp on my hands as I'm trying to like ball it up because it's good, strong, thick cardstock. So I found, and I didn't notice a noticeable difference whether I looked at the light side or the dark side. Welcome to the dark side. So where I've ripped it, you can see a little bit, but this rest I couldn't. So then I started going like this, right? And I'm going in circles. I don't know if that's really obvious. I'm going in circles and I'm breaking down, which I made the paper way softer. So I'm just kind of running each hand in circles and to kind of break it down. But I got it cool. It kind of looks cool, but it wasn't really like little bits and pieces were showing through. So if you wanted like a lot of a reveal, I think you could crumple it and then you could give it a light sand. Then you get a cool effect. But just crumpling it alone, like it was not working. Now I'm going to actually use this piece on a card. I just didn't get that far yet. Maybe it's because of sneak peek. Maybe something I saw recently in, I don't know, a publication or something, but it makes me think of a turtle. So anyways, crumpling, that's another way to expose some of the white. This is sort of a crumple sand hybrid, although I guess, I don't know, maybe if you got better crumpling techniques, you can, I don't know. Okay, so there's that one. I don't have a card for that one. And then the other two, here's as far as I got on the cards. So we're obviously going to do those as we go. But I will show you what the trick is. So here's another way where you can get white exposed. Okay. Torn edges. So, and this might be the most popular one. Like when I started seeing this and then I started paying more attention looking for it, I noticed that on scrapbooks and stuff, lots of layouts made with torn edges. So I think this piece is big enough. Sorry, I was all of a sudden I'm like, what? Did I have a plan for these pieces? These were the ones I was going to do. So here's the thing. I was going to try to match them up. It's not going to work. Okay, so here's the purple one. So you kind of have two options. I'll do it this way so I can do it. You can just take the paper and just rip it, right? And you're just going to get whatever random thing you want. Now, when I did it, just like ripped it the first time, I got a much wider, that was this one. I got a much wider cut. This one is a much thinner cut, which funny enough, I was going to show you. The second way I did it is I went like this and I very purposely, with my fingers very close to the rip, I very purposely went like this and got like a narrower, straighter edge that exposed the white. When I went like this the first time, yeah, see, that's how I did it, and just pulled it apart, I got a much wider and much more variable edge. The other thing that it's another one of those play around it things, and it works on either side, right? Like, so I ripped this one, so that's this side, that's this side. Here, I'll just keep all these little bits and pieces that I got going. So this one here in the middle, though, when I took my piece of paper, I was like, I want extreme. So I went like this, and I was like pushing, and I was like, and I was going, and I was trying to make the things as wide as possible and the stuff as variable as possible. And so I got a much different look. Now, I don't know about you. I didn't do it very well on this one. But this one kind of, and actually if you do it like this, it almost makes it work a little better. This one, it's because of the corner. Let me just rip this a bit. Oops, I'm going the wrong direction. There's your hint. I'm getting the snow on the wrong side. This is what I think. I think these look like snow-capped mountains. If you get enough of a edge to it, yeah, I think and this is maybe not the right color. This looks like snow-capped mountains. Because this is more of a sky color, maybe you could make it look like clouds, but see, even that makes me think of mountains. I got snow-capped mountains. The suggestion I'm going to make, and it's not exactly what I did, but because I'm just going for random. So when I cut my measurements, I'm fine. If I was going to make this for a card and I wanted to put my little snow-capped mountains or my clouds or my whatever across my piece of paper, I would cut, like, this is 4 inches wide. I would cut this 5 or 6 inches wide. So that when I ripped it, if I ended up with this janky edge here, or like I did this where I ripped it a bit too far and I want to fix it, I have a bit more to play with. Because if you cut it exactly, then you're stuck with whatever you get. So, which is maybe fine. Yeah, see, if I had a mountain color background, even just this one blue piece looks like the snow with the sky behind it. It's just the coolest technique. It's so much fun. So anyways, it's just trial and error. Play with a bunch of pieces. I'm going to move these out of the way because I'm going to show you 2 things I thought of. Well, okay, one was not my genius idea or anything, but 2 things I'm going to show you. On ways I think you can make a card. First, what did I do with that? There we go. So I kind of swore I had a stamp set in front of me that was going to help me, but apparently I don't. I'm winging it as I go. Okay, so this is 5 1/4, so it's the right height, but I knocked an inch off of the width. So instead of being 4, I made it 3. Because what I want is I'm going to rip this down the. No, I'm not going to rip it down the middle. I'm going to rip it 1/3 of the way over, and I'm not going to hold too close. I want a good edge on it. Oh, I just realized something. See, I hadn't actually tried this before. I just realized something though. Okay, so I want this edge like this. I don't want to flip. I guess there's 2 things you can do. I can flip this and get my white edge and get 2 different tones. Ooh, we're going to try that on the other one. On this one, though, I want this side up, but I want another white edge. So I'm going to have to go like this, and I'm going to have to, oh, don't go too close to the edge because it's very hard to tear. There we go. I'm going to try. One edge is going to be way more dramatic than the other, which is not what I wanted. I should have cut this a little bit wider. I forgot about the fact that one side wasn't going to be. See, this fun how you get to learn with me. You get to see me make the mistake so you don't make it. There we go. So yeah, this edge is much smaller because I was trying to rip a smaller piece off. And you know, the funniest part is I need a wider opening anyway, so I'm gonna have to rip it again. Again, it is trial and error. So I thought I wanted like an inch, but an inch obviously was not enough for what I was aiming to do. Okay, so I ripped a bit more off. I don't even know what I ripped off now. But basically what I'm trying to get is about a 1-inch path down the middle of my card. Okay, now, because I know me and because I know how well I control myself with a blending brush, I'm going to do this instead. And I got two options, I guess. Let me put it that way. My masking paper, which I actually think I know where it is. I could mask the top of this card and the bottom of this card. Try not to knock anything over as I reach. Oh, no, that's not masking paper. I thought I had it behind my embellishments, but those are all just embellishments. Okay, so a sticky note, masking tape, masking paper, whatever you're using. I could put it where I block off just enough so that the top does not go off the page or go beyond this. Or I could make these 5.5 so that it goes right to the edge. In this case, though, I want to have like a white border around what I'm doing. So I'm just going to do it on on the layer. I could have swore but I brought this in. So we're gonna go. What time are we? Oh my god, it's after 4 o'clock already. Okay, I gotta speed up. You know, see, this is why, because I didn't prep everything ahead of time. So now I'm just playing. I don't know if you guys do this. I don't even know if you're supposed to do this, but with your ink pad when it's closed, if you squish it, you end up pushing the ink pad against the lid. And then I take some water and I spritz it, and then I get diluted, not diluted, but diluted, and I can do a little bit there so that I get my like pool party, so I can get the sky going in the back. Now, because I'm only going to use the middle strip, I'm starting kind of over to the side. Normally I would start off the paper and work my way on, but because I'm not seeing this whole thing anyways, I'm just trying to get enough. And the other beauty of this is if I'm a little bit off where I think I'm going, which is totally possible, I can just trim this down to fit. I need some more ink. Okay, I've only got 2 things to show you. It's probably 10 more minutes, and I realize I totally went over. The other thing to notice when you do that, like I can see the circle here where it came out. So if I was gonna like stamp the sentiment or something in the same color, I would want to kind of like hop around the ink pad a bunch and get the ink to move around a little bit more. So otherwise I'm going to have like a patchy stamp. Okay, so I just want, my idea was, I just want a kind of like a sky. I'm getting it on one side, I'm just not getting it on the other. So now I could take my pieces and I can go like this, and I can go over to here, which is where I want. So I've almost got it. I need a bit more on this side, because by the time I was done with my who knows what I'm doing, I made it a little bit wider than I thought. So the beauty, I mean, you could do this with a lot of different things. Oh, maybe on the, oh no, the next one I had a different plan. One of the things you can do, which is so cool, is you can take just a clear block and just kind of like into your ink pad, and then spritz it with water, and then use your ink pad or use your clear block like it's a stamp, and it gives you like a watercolory look. Yeah, you just want it like models. You don't want to, and I guess you could do something solid. You could have, oh, here's what I do have a you could do this. Let's not judge the color choice, because I don't know if the color choice is even going to work, but you get the idea. I could put a piece of paper down instead. This is not the right size paper. It just happens to be the piece that was on my desk, right? So I get the peekaboo. That is not what we're going for. Let's try this one. It's cut sideways. It's meant to go a different direction, but you know what I mean, right? You could have that. Oh, that actually looks really good. You could have that peeking, other than I can tell the plants are all going sideways. Really strong wind on this card. I'm going to make another one with that, but go in the right direction. Okay. So then I'm actually going to do it this way. I'm going to, oh wait, I just about did it again. That would have been twice in one day. Again, back my head. Remarkable. Oh, maybe that's not what it's called. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do this one. This one's probably the perfect size. I was going to use the other one, but I love this one too. My little thistle. That's not right. That's not the right block. You know, I got gorgeous grape in front of me. Again, I had no plan. I was just going to show you the different things you can do with the paper. Did I plan out the cards? No, not really. There we go. Thistle there in the middle. Stamp that off a bit. Oh, see, now that I've stamped it off and cleaned off my stamp set, I see, corner my eye. I see the envelopes. Get the envelope done. We're going to go with this again. And yes, this is how I stamp. I'm holding everything in one hand. And I got the inside of the card. I'm going to do that. And then we'll close the ink pad so we don't actually stick our hand in it. There we go. So now, all my pieces are in a different order. This one. Because I guess I got enough water in there when I was doing the blending brush. Got it a little wet. My cardstock is starting to curl, but that's okay because we're gonna stick it straight down. Actually, I don't know if I have to stick it straight down. I'll show you the other way. The other thing I do when I make my cardstock curl, heat embossing will sometimes make your cardstock curl. Generally, if you're going to watercolor or do too much with, like, to make it too wet, you really should use the watercolor paper and not just the regular cardstock. But why follow the rules? There we go. So now we have a little guy peeking through. So if we're going to do it this way, the other thing you can do, so normally on the back of the card, I would put probably 5. I probably just stick one in the middle. But because this one is slightly curly, I'm going to maybe just add a couple extras. I got to be careful though, because I'm trying to piece of string around. I think that works. So that it will hold the middle down as well as the outsides. Now, my favorite embellishment of all time, linen thread. Actually, I'm going to go around twice. I'm going to do this before I stick it down. I'm going to knock it onto the floor is what I'm going to do. I got these little clips. I tried to cut a little slit in there and just hold it in. And it kind of works, but I find it slides around a little bit more. But just any old, I have an assortment of various different clips that I use. And I find those work way better. Okay, so here's the other thing I'm going to show you. So now that I got my thread wrapped around, I haven't tied a bow yet because it's going to flop all over the place, especially because it's curled up. So I have it tied around. Just make sure that's not in the middle. And now I'm going to put, because it's not going anywhere. Now I'm going to put this down because then it's going to hold everything in place for me. So that when I go to tie, oops, that's totally uneven. When I go to tie the bow, I think I went a little wider when I put those strips on. There. Now my card's not going to be moving all over the place because I've stuck the layer to the card base. It just makes it that much easier to tie my bow. And because this is not actually stuck to anything, it's just wrapped around, I still have the room to maneuver. And I like to go on one side or the other. If I have more than one, I like to be on one side of the string and one on the other side. When I tie my first little circle, this is way longer than it needs to be, and because I'm getting down to the end of the roll, it is super curly. This thing has crossed over like 7 times in the process of doing this. Oops. And pull those ones to pull that tight, and pull those ones to pull that tight. There we go. Now, the other thing that is quite handy, I would show you as a tip, is the little I think they're called reverse tweezers. They're with the Stampin, the embossing essentials kit that we have, the ones you squeeze and they open up. You can use that once you get to this step. I took mine somewhere and I can't find them now. I can't find the whole toolkit that I took to the event. It's somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. Probably in the garage somewhere. Anyways, you can use it to like clip this so that it sort of holds it for you while you're tying the rest of your bow. Yeah, seriously, long little tails. So there's my bow. And then again, I'm going to spare you because we're already late. And then my plan was to just put a little tag here. I should have tied this in, but I have to stamp it first. Ta-da! And then a couple gems, of course. So I will finish that up before I take the pictures, just to show you. My other thought, though, was things you can do. And I think this is going to work. So this one I cut, same thing. I cut it to 4 inches wide, but I cut it an inch shorter instead of an inch narrower. And I'm going to rip it in strips. So, because I had the idea with the last time and I just have to think it out in my head. Yes, I want to keep the paper facing me the same side up all the time, I think, is what I was thinking. But I'm going to flip it over every second piece. So I'm only going to see white on one side. Oh, that may or may not work. I might not be able to do the flip it over part. See, now I don't even know what I did. No, those 3 are all the same. I might have to try a little bit. Oh, that's definitely not right. Anyways, that might take a little more practice. My thought was, there we go. Yeah, I don't know if I can flip it. I was thinking if you flipped it, then you would get 2-tone as you went, but they think then it screws up your pattern too much. I don't think that works, unless you can somehow pull them perfectly straight. Oh, that's not right. This was the right piece. What I wanted to do, that's the wrong piece. That's what's going. This one doesn't have white on it. That's what totally threw me off, is there's no white on this one. So I'm going to rip the edge of this one just to give it, because it needs to have white on the bottom. All the other ones have white on the bottom edge. Okay, so now, hang in there, guys. I'm almost done. I should have said, I should have warned you at the front. Hey, it's playtime and I have no plan, so you may or may not end on time. So I'm going to try to, even though the bottom is not even, to space it as best I can on the tops and the sides. So because this is totally random, if I was trying to do something a bit more even, I wouldn't do it this way. But because this is random and I just want to have stripes in between, I'm going to put the top and the bottom one. Right, and they're all just whatever amounts. And I don't even think it matters. But then I'm going to put the middle one. I'm leaving my other pieces in place so I have a rough idea where they go. Okay, oops, that's not right. So I can get them going in the right direction. Now I'm just kind of eyeballing the center of the card. If I put this on here, what is this? 5.5, 2 3/4. This line right here is my center. I could use my grid paper or glass mat. Either one has measurements on it. So there's the middle of the card. And then I'm just going to space these in between. This one is turning out how I wanted it to turn out. Yeah, my idea of, hey, I'll just flip it over, that doesn't work. Or if it does, you need to cut a different piece, a different size, because maybe smaller strips. I don't know. Just flipping it over changes how they meet up and makes for really weird because I wanted the blue showing through, right? That was the point. The darker color showing through. So because they're all quite variable, the spacing is now quite variable. And actually it looks good this way. Or it looks good that way, which is how my card opens. And then I'll be honest with you, I got that far. My thought was, but look, I don't have the right color cut out. That is totally not the right color. but something like that. I need a circle. I just buried everything on my table though. Just a minute, I gotta find a. I thought I had beige ones. I thought I had the basic beige. Oh, what's this? I do have basic beige. That's great. Nope. See, I like that one, but it might be getting too many colors on the go there, so I might need it to be white. Let's go with white. There we go. This doesn't matter where to put it. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit of white on there. Stamp something on it. Maybe have something sticking out of it. I'll finish it up because we're way over time already. But anyways, yeah, I'll finish these up, take some pictures. So we have torn edges. I'm going to finish the envelope on that one too. Oops. Just dropped my label on the floor. So we've got the torn edge look. We've got the flipped over paper look. Did I take the flower off this one? I don't even know where my flower went on that one. And it's not even right. And we've got some crumpling, and we've got some die cuts, and we've got some sanding. There we go. Take your pick. Two-tone cardstock. It's fun to play with. I will take proper pictures later and show you these things. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for staying longer. I apologize for going over. Tomorrow and Thursday, there'll be some videos that I get posted. I'm going to go for 3 o'clock each afternoon just so people know when to look for them. Well, there's my flower. See, I knew I had a flower somewhere. I'll finish coloring that, make it work. So 3 o'clock tomorrow, 3 o'clock Thursday, I will post the next 2 kits that I open. Maritime Moments. And gosh darn it, if I could remember what the other one's called. I thought I had the little, oh, there I do. Maritime Moments and oh, Welcome Garden. That's right. With the can't wait for both of those kits. Okay, and Friday I'll be back with my Easter treats or Easter projects to show you, and I hope you will have some Easter projects that you can add and show us. Okay, thanks everybody. A bit of a gong show of a live today, but I appreciate you hanging out with me. Take care. Talk to you later.